depth guide of Samira. Samira has finally been released. We have a new AD carry to play, and I'm going to be giving you all the best and most in-depth guide for Samira. You know, the build, the abilities, the combos, everything that you need to know will all be in this video. Timestamps will be in the description as well if you want to skip to a certain part of the video. But first up, let's take a look at Samira's abilities. First up is her passive. It's quite complicated, it is quite long, but I'll try and simplify it as much as I can for you. So Samira builds up a combo by dealing damage with attacks and abilities against enemy champions unique from the previous one. So you need to make sure that you use different abilities at different times. Each one increases her style from E to S. So it goes from E, D, C, B, A, and S. So that's 6 separate attacks and abilities. Samira gains 3.5 movement speed per grade as well. That means you're going to get in movement speed every single time you go up in ranks. Samira's attacks and abilities in melee range deal additional magic damage and is increased based on the target's missing health. So if you use your first ability at range, she'll be in range form. If you use her first ability in close range, it will be in melee form. And Samira's attacks against enemies affected by mobilizing effects will dash her to her attack range, and if the enemy is knocked up, she also keeps them knocked up for at least 0.5 seconds. Samira is really strong with engaged supports. Thresh, Leona, Nautilus are 3 supports you need to play with Samira. Do not play Samira with an enchanter support. She's not that strong with enchanters. She wants engaged supports because of that last part of her passive. But I'll quickly show you the ratings. As you can see, when I auto attack, you see I have E rating, and you can see it goes up and up and up. Now I've got C rating, first ability auto, A rating, and then it goes all the way up to S rating. And then you can see the flames shining around you. You know, that's really where Samira shines. Samira is a combo heavy AD carry. She's very different to other AD carry. She doesn't want to sit back and auto attack all the time. She wants to get in the face of the enemies and make sure that you use her combos effectively. So her first ability, as I've just used, is Flare. So Flare, Samira fires a shot dealing physical damage to the first enemy hit, so this can be blocked by minions and monsters. If this ability is cast towards an enemy in melee range, Samira will instead slash with her blade in a clone instead, dealing the same damage to all enemies within. Now either of these hit can critical strike for 25% bonus damage. So even though Samira is more of a close range AD carry, you still want to build crit with her, just because her abilities will crit also. You know, her first ability and also her ultimate will be able to crit. And if you cast Wind Rush, which is Samira's third ability, then Samira will strike all enemies in her path before completion. So your first ability, as you can see, when you use the ability, you got the slash range. So when I walk within this range, you can see I can slash with my first ability, but when I'm further away, you can see that it's going to be in range form. So she basically has 2 separate forms. It's exactly the same with auto attacks as well. If her auto attacks within close range are melee, her auto attacks from range are going to be range form. So really important to know is that if you walk up, it's going to be melee. If you walk backwards, it's going to be range. So like I said, the 2 separate forms. And then what it means with the third ability is when you use your third ability and then use first ability afterwards, you can see that there's a little bit of damage that gets dealt. So if I do it here, I'm going to go through 2 enemies, and as you can see, my first ability is going to deal damage to both of them. So you need to make sure you use your first ability when you're going into the enemy's face with your third ability, and this also works as stacks towards your passive. So as you can see, I can gain 2 stacks. So third ability, first ability, there you go, 2 stacks of my passive, and you can see you can go up to S rank quite easily, even though I do have 0-second cooldown my abilities. Second ability, Blade Well, a huge part of your ultimate, your passive, sorry, and a huge part of getting combo stacks. Samira slashes her around her for 0.75 seconds, damaging enemies twice for physical damage each, and destroying any enemy missiles that enter in the area. So this blocks any crowd control at all. So say for example a Lux Light Binding, Morgana Dark Binding, any projectile that comes towards you, you can just use your second ability and it will block that projectile straight away. Now the most important thing to note with her second ability is she can proc the combo, so the passive, twice with her second ability. So her second ability does 2 parts of damage. The first part is when you activate the ability straight away, so you activate the second ability straight away. The second part of the damage is right at the end. So as you can see, when I use the ability, damage there, at the end, damage there. You can see damage, every single time she spins around, there's damage. I'll walk up to an enemy dummy so you can see damage, damage, two separate parts. So what you want to do is you want to use W, and then when you use W, you want to use your third ability. So you can use W, third ability, W, and then you'll be able to get 2 stacks of, or 3 stacks of your passive straight away. I'll quickly show you again. So it's W, third ability, W. There you go. You can see you can go up to E to C rank straight away. So you only need to use 3 other abilities or separate auto attacks to be able to get your S rank very, very quickly. That's going to be an important part later on in our combo section. So the third ability, Wind Rush, we've already seen it ever so slightly already. Samira dashes through an enemy, including the structures, slashing enemies she passes through, dealing magic damage and gaining attack speed for a few seconds. If Samira scores a takedown, Wind Rush's cooldown is reset. So it's really important to know when you need to go in with Samira with her third ability to try and get her ranks up to S, and you need to know when you can get your resets with your third ability. Tapping this ability mid-air will cast Flay. So that's kind of cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Wait, that makes it so okay. I didn't know this. This is something new to Wild Rift. Obviously, I'm still quite learning things as well. So you can use your third ability, and then you use your third ability again, like tap your third ability, and that will cast the first ability straight away. Let me get rid of the CD. Oh, that is so helpful. So you don't even need to try and move your thumb from the third ability down to the first ability. All you have to do is just tap your third ability twice. That is so helpful for our combos. That's beautiful. That's lovely. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, another cool thing as well with the third ability is sometimes you can get over walls. I'm very curious if this is the same thing also in Wild Rift. Yeah, you can do this. You can do this to get over walls as well. You can probably get over the blue buff wall, maybe. Blue buff might be a little bit more difficult. That's quite a thick wall, yeah. But there's some walls that you can go over with your third ability. And you can do the same with the champions as well. You know, if a champion is within range, you can go over the wall like that. So there's loads of different ways that you can use your third ability to be super mobile. And then the whole reason why you want her passive to go up to S rank is because of her ultimate infernal trigger. Now, Samira can only use this ability if her current style is S rank. Has a very low cooldown. However, you need to get up to S rank to be able to use this ability. So that's why I said combos are the most important thing for Samira. So Samira unleashes a torrent of shots with her weapons, reducing her movement speed by 30% while wildly shooting up to 5 enemies around her 10 times over 2.5 seconds, each shooting physical damage, and each shot can critical strike. So again, more going towards the crit damage build. So what you want to do is you want to get up to S rank as soon as possible with Samira, so you can use her combos really well, get up to S rank, and then look at her ultimate. Look how beautiful that looks. It's so beautiful. I should have taken really the cooldown off there so you can actually see when you can use it very easily. So ultimate, as you can see, it's a 7-second cooldown, but then you have to gain your stacks up again, which, as you can see, the cooldowns are quite long, so you're not going to be able to do it straight away. But then when you get up to S rank, you can just use it again. So you could potentially use your ultimate twice in an entire team fight. But again, it's important to make sure you differentiate and you keep on using different attacks and abilities to make sure you get up to S rank. Right, let's talk about combos. Combos is an important part for Samira, as I already mentioned. Now, the best combo you want to go for, this is the fastest way that you're going to get the S rank with Samira. Again, it is very difficult though, and it will take you a bit of time, but it actually makes things quite easier because you can use your third ability now to just tap that once and tap it again to use your first ability. So what you want to do is you want to auto. This will get you 1 rank, and then what you want to do is use your second ability when you're within close range, then use your third ability pretty much as the W is going to reset again to get the second part of the damage. If you want a second ability, dash in second ability, and there you go. S rank that quickly. So you auto attack, you use your W, but you need to make sure your W, you're within range of an enemy champion to make sure the first proc of the W comes off. Then you use your third ability, and then your third ability will be able to get the second proc of the W very easily. And as you're using your third ability, you want to use your first ability. So I'll show you one more time. So your auto attack will be your first part, you W, E, N, Q, and then you auto attack again, and then there you go. That is the quickest way that you're going to use your ultimate. Now, this can be changed ever so slightly. You don't have to use the Q, as you're going in with your third ability. You can use it at range as well if you want to. you can like use your Q here and use it like this, and then use second ability, dash in, second ability again, and you can do it that way. If you feel like you can't really do that much, if you just want to stick at range and just use your first ability to spam it a few times, as you can see, you can stack it up quite quickly, and you can dash in, use your S rank there. But again, Samira is a very short range champion, so that can be a little bit difficult at times. Right, now onto skill order. Let's take a look at Samira's skill order, shall we? So at level 1, you want to go for your first ability. No real surprise there. You want to make sure you go for your first ability so you can poke at range, and you can use this at range as well to make sure that you can farm up if you really need to. Then at level 2, you want to go for your third ability. This is where you can combo your third ability and your first ability if you can. If you can follow up on engagements from your engaged support, very important. Then you want to go for your third ability. You want to make sure you max your first ability first. This will deal the most damage for you and will allow you to farm at range if you need to. Then you max your third ability, and then you go all the way to your second ability. So that is the perfect skill order for Samira, and everything basically that you need to know for Samira. Now I'm going to quickly show you a build now for Samira as well. The build is very interesting. I think there's a few things that need to be tested with Samira. Attack speed doesn't really work too well on her. You mainly want to go for a lot of attack damage, like this build. Bloodthirster is a great first item for Samira because physical vamp is insane with her. All her abilities do a lot of AD damage, especially her ultimate, and she'll be able to heal up a lot. As I mentioned, Samira is more of a close range AD carry that wants to get in the face of the enemy, so sometimes you need a little bit of physical vamp. But the problem is that Bloodthirster first item is not really too strong, so I'm not too sure if it's going to be like Storm Razor first item, but again, attack speed is not really that effective on her. Infinity Edge as well, again, you're going for a crit build. You're going for as much crit as possible. 230% damage as well instead of 200% of your crit strikes on Infinity Edge, and it gives you the most AD as well. For the boost, most of the time you want to go for defensive boost, so armor or merc treads, upgrade that to the stasis. Mortar reminder as well, getting armor penetration, getting more attack damage, and getting grievous wounds, which is also very important to make sure that no one can heal quite a lot when you're trying to jump in and when you're trying to do your combos. Guardian Angel is great just in case you do overextend a little bit. You do have that resurrect from your Guardian Angel. And then as your last item, it can be very flexible. You can go for Phantom Dancer. You can also go for like maybe more of Malmortius if you're against a lot of AP. You can maybe even go for Storm Razor last item if you want to. Essence Reaver is also not a bad item. But yeah, the only other thing that I can think of is it might be Storm Razor first item, but just because of how strong the item is. And then maybe you go into like Bloodthirster, i.e. maybe you go for that sort of route. For the runes, Conqueror, you need to go for this rune. Conqueror, you can stack so quickly. You know, with the combo, you're dealing damage with so many separate abilities with Conqueror, and you'll be able to stack it basically instantly. The full combo of Samira is 6 stacks. That is 6 stacks of Conqueror. What does that do? That gives you your Conqueror passive straight away. That means every single time you use Samira's combo, like I mentioned, you're going to be getting the Conqueror fully stacked, and you're going to be dealing the full damage of Conqueror with your ultimate. Really important to go Conqueror. Hunter Vampirism as well is still really strong to get physical vamp and to get scaling AD and physical vamp. Nullifying Orb is still really strong because you're going to be building loads of AD, so 50% of your bonus AD will go to Nullifying Orb. The final rune can be Hunter Genius. However, the abilities for Samira are very low cooldown, so I think Sweet Tooth might also be good, but Hunter Genius I think will also be good. And then for your summer spells, you want Flash and Exhaust. That is everything you need to know for Samira. Let me know what your thoughts are of Samira down in the comments. I'm going to be trying her out as well. I'm really excited to give her a try, and let me know what you think. I'll see you all very soon. Sound guide coming out very soon. I'll see you all then. Take care. Peace.